Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be doing a reaction on Renekton, the Butcher of the Sands. If this is your first time on the channel, the way my reactions go is we're going to take a look at the story and biography stuff first. We'll move on to any cinematics Renekton will have, take a look at the gameplay, as well as the skins, the Fandom Wiki, and finally end off with the voice lines and special interactions. Okay, so Renekton, we do know that Renekton goes mad, right? And we did an Azir reaction semi-recently. And so we have kind of like the trio. We have Nasus and Renekton are the brothers, right? And then we have Azir. We have his whole story and kind of what happens with Nasus and Renekton after, you know, the Sun Disk and everything gets destroyed. So we're going to fully dive into Renekton. I don't know everything, and it's going to be kind of a reminder because I do kind of forget some like minor details and stuff. But I am excited to get into Renekton's character. We haven't done Nasus yet, so if you guys want to see a Nasus one, let me know in the comments. All right, so the quote for Renekton is blood and vengeance. That's okay. Role is fighter, region Shurima. That all makes sense. And we have, for related champions, we have Nasus, Azir, Xerath, and Sivir. Sivir, of course, because that's Azir's bloodline still going on. The paragraph here says Renekton is a terrifying, rage-fueled, ascended warrior from the scorched deserts of Shurima. Once he was his empire's most esteemed champion, leading its grand armies to countless victories. However, after the fall of the Sun Disk, Renekton was entombed beneath the sands, and slowly, as the world above changed, he succumbed to insanity. Now free once more, he is utterly consumed with wreaking vengeance upon his brother Nasus, who he blames for the centuries lost in darkness. Oh, okay. So he specifically wants to go after Nasus. I thought, you know, towards the end of Azir's reaction, we do learn that he is freed and everything like that when I believe Sivir and Cassiopeia also free Azir at the same time. Yeah, I didn't know that Renekton was specifically going after his brother Nasus. I mean, talking about the design of Renekton, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's a very cool... Okay, is he an alligator or a crocodile? Don't be mad, y'all. I don't know, actually. Renekton was born to fight. From a young age, it was obvious he had no fear, regularly brawling with much older children. It was usually his pride that led to these confrontations. Renekton was unable to back down or let any insult pass. Okay, right away, we're finding out that he's a very prideful person, right? Like, he has a lot of pride. While his older brother Nasus disapproved of his street fighting, Renekton relished it. Nasus eventually left to join the prestigious Collegium of the Sun, and Renekton's skirmishes became more serious. Okay, so yeah, Nasus was the smart one, and Renekton is just like the brawler guy, right? The brawler brother. Fearing his brother's violent nature would see him imprisoned or in an early grave, Nasus helped him enlist in the Shuriman army. Officially, Renekton was too young, but Nasus made sure this was conveniently overlooked. The discipline of military life was a blessing. Renekton fought in numerous wars of conquest to expand the empire. His ferocity and toughness were still evident, but his honor and bravery became renowned. Nasus, now a celebrated general and tactician, would often say that he planned many great battles, but it was Renekton who won them. Okay, so regarding like the actual war or battles and stuff, Nasus was the strategizer, and then Renekton was the one that was, you know, fulfilling those strategies and stuff. Indeed, after saving the isolated city of Zureta, Renekton was made a captain by the emperor himself and named gatekeeper of Shurima. Outnumbered 10 to 1, he and a small contingent had faced the enemy in the remote rocky passes to the south to buy time for the city to be evacuated. It was a battle none had expected Renekton to survive, let alone win. Yet he held out long enough for a relief force led by Nasus to arrive, and the invading forces were routed. Through decades of service, Renekton's reputation came to rival even the god warriors of the ascended host. His presence on the battlefield an inspiration to those fighting alongside him, and terrifying to his foes. Still, he was a grizzled and battle-scarred veteran of middling years when word reached him that his brother was close to death. Oh. He raced back to the capital to find Nasus a pale shadow of his former self, having been struck down by a debilitating, wasting malady. The sickness was incurable. Oh, I didn't know this. Okay, so Nasus gets sick. Nevertheless, the general's greatness was recognized by one and all. Beyond his military acumen, Nasus had curated the empire's greatest libraries and compiled or translated many of the finest literary works of antiquity. Such a man could not be allowed to pass, and it was decreed that he was worthy of ascension. Okay, so they saved Nasus of his illness by ascending him. Wow. The whole city gathered in witness, but Nasus no longer had the strength to climb onto the dais before the Sun Disk. Without thought for his own safety, Renekton lifted his brother in his arms and climbed the final steps, fully expecting to be obliterated in the process. He was just a warrior after all, and he knew Shurima would need Nasus in the years to come. Wow. Renekton was ready to sacrifice his own life to carry his brother up to become ascended. That's actually pretty awesome. And forgive me if I've known this or I read about this, because I'm not remembering this at all, to be honest. However, Renekton was not destroyed. Beneath the blinding radiance of the sun disk, both brothers were raised up and remade, and when the light faded, two mighty god warriors stood before the crowds. Nasus in his lean jackal-headed body, and Renekton as an immense reptile. The jackal was often regarded as the most clever and cunning of beasts, and the fearless aggression of the crocodile, there it is, fit Renekton perfectly. Okay, so confirmed a crocodile. Renekton had been a mighty hero before, but now he possessed power beyond mortal understanding. He led Shurima's armies to many bloody victories, neither giving nor expecting any mercy. His legend spread far beyond the borders of the Empire, and it was his enemies that knew him as the Butcher of the Sands, a title he embraced. But there were some Nasus among them who came to believe that a portion of Renekton's humanity had been lost in his transformation. He seemed crueler, taking ever greater pleasure in the spilling of blood, and there were whispers of many battlefield atrocities. You know what it is all the ascension might have made his mind already go a little crazy, and then the fact of like how violent and stuff he was already kind of going insane, and then when they entomb him, like, it was so easy for him to just go insane. Nevertheless, he remained a staunch defender of Shurima, faithfully serving a succession of emperors, even through the rebellion of Acacia and the horrifying war that followed. Some years later, it was decided that the young Emperor Azir would join the ranks of the Ascended Host and become the immortal ruler his people deserved. The results were catastrophic. Renekton and Nasus were each more than a day's journey from the capital when it happened, and they arrived to find the glorious city in ruins. The sun disk was failing, drained of all its power. At the center of the carnage, they found the Emperor's treacherous magus, Xerath, now a malevolent being of pure energy. The brothers fought hard, but knowing that they could not destroy Xerath, Renekton finally wrestled him into the tomb of emperors beneath the city and bade his brother seal them inside. Knowing there was no other way, Nasus reluctantly did as his brother ordered. Oh, dude, there is Renekton again, sacrificing himself for his brother and like Shurima as a whole. That's crazy. Xerath and Renekton continued their battle. What's the point? You guys are locked together at this point. Like, just sit there and do nothing, I guess. For uncounted centuries, they stalked one another through the lightless depths. For uncounted centuries? Excuse me? Let's not put that lightly, dude. As the once great civilization of Shurima turned to dust in the world above, Xerath taunted his adversary, whispering poison in Renekton's ear, and gradually his viperous words began to take hold. Oh, Xerath actually pushes along the insanity. He might not have gone insane if he hadn't done that. He convinced Renekton that Nasus, jealous of his success, had leapt at the chance to be rid of him and enjoy immortality alone. Oh, dude, come on. Piece by piece, Renekton's sanity cracked. Xerath drove a wedge into these cracks, twisting his perception of what was real and what was imagined. When the tomb of the emperors was finally opened by greedy mortal scavengers, Sivir and Cassiopeia, Renekton roared his fury and thundered out into the desert, sniffing the air of his brother's scent. But Shurima has changed much in his absence. The Ascended Host is no more, leaving the people scattered and leaderless for the most part. Though he cares little for such things, Renekton has attracted followers among the most fierce and bloodthirsty of the desert raiders, even if he cannot always tell friend from foe in his frequent deranged frenzies. I'm going to assume he has like a frenzy mode for his abilities or something. And while there are moments when he resembles the proud, honorable hero of the past, most often Renekton is a little more than a devolved, hate-maddened beast driven on by the thirst for blood and vengeance. Wow, I love this biography for him because it's very fully fleshed out. And we get little snippets of Azir, the little snippets of Nasus, and we get a lot of Nasus because we get to see the dynamic between the two brothers, and kind of like Renekton made two sacrifices for Nasus. I mean, he shouldn't be mad at Nasus. That's just the insanity that's Xerath had put into his mind. But yeah, this is like a tragic story, right? Like, this is a tragic biography for this character because he sacrificed so much for his brother. He sacrificed a lot for Shurima. And in the end, he was just entombed and became mad. But, like, I mean, it wasn't his fault. None of it was his fault, let's be honest. But he is also a violent person, I guess. So, I don't know if we want to say the violence is his fault. I don't know. All right. Very good biography, though. I love how fleshed out it was. All right. Our story is called Darkness Renews. Oh, okay. We're getting questions, and then it looks like italicized words here. Maybe that's like in his mind. Okay. So it says, am I a god? He no longer knows. Once, perhaps, when the sun disk gleamed like gold atop the great palace of 10,000 pillars, he remembers carrying a withered ancient in his arms, and them both borne into the sky by the sun's radiance. All his hurts and pain were washed away as the light remade him. If this memory is his, then was he mortal, once mortal? He thinks so, but cannot remember. His thoughts are a cloud of dune flies, myriad shattered memories buzzing angrily in his elongated skull. Wow, that is a way of describing somebody's brain and memories. Okay, so I guess this is more of like a narrator in the italicized letters here, or words. What is real? What am I now? This place, this cave under the sands, is it real? He believes so, but he is no longer sure he can trust his senses. For as long as he can remember, he knew only darkness. Awful, unending darkness that clung to him like a shroud. But then the darkness broke apart and he was hurled back into the light. He remembers clawing his way through the sand as the earth buckled and heaved. The living rock, grinding as something long buried and all but forgotten, heaved itself to the surface once again. I can imagine. I mean, living in centuries in darkness like that. Towering statues erupted from beneath the sand, vast and terrible in their aspect. Armored warriors with demonic heads loomed over him, ancient gods of a long-dead culture. Bellicose phantoms rose from the sand and he fled their wrath, escaping the rising city as light blazed and the moons and stars wheeled overhead. He remembers staggering through the desert, his mind afire with visions of blood and betrayal, of titanic places and golden temples brought down in the blink of an eye. Centuries of progress undone for the sake of one man's vanity and pride. Was it his? He does not know, but fears it might have been. No, it was Azir, right? Or, well, Zareth, I guess. The light that once remade his flesh now pains him. It burned him raw and seared his soul as he wandered the desert, lost and alone, tormented by a hatred he did not understand. He has taken refuge from its unforgiving light, but even here, squatting and weeping in this dripping cave, the Whisperer had found him. The shadow on the walls slithers around him, always muttering, always conspiring to feed his bitterness. He presses long, gnarled hands that end in vicious ebon talons to his temples, but he cannot shut his constant companion in the darkness out. He never could. The Whisperer tells tales of his shame and guilt. It speaks of the thousands who died because of him, who never had the chance to live thanks to his failure. A part of him believes these to be honeyed falsehoods, twisted fictions, told often enough that he can no longer sift truth from lies. The Whisperer reminds him of the light being shut away, showing him the jackal face of his betrayer looking down as he condemned him to the abyssal dark for all eternity. Oh, does he not even realize it's his brother? Tears gather at the corners of his cataracted eyes, and he angrily wipes them away. The Whisperer knows every secret path into his mind, twisting every certainty he once clung to, every virtue that made him the hero revered as a god throughout Shurima. And Shurima's not in italicized, so he just remembered in his actual brain that it's called Shurima. That name has meaning to him, but it fades like a shimmering mirage, remaining bound within the prison of his mind by chains of madness. Wow. Dude, I love the way they're describing Renekton's brain and thoughts here. His eyes, once so clear-sighted and piercing, are misted with the eons he spent in the endless dark. His skin was as tough as armored bronze, but is now dull and cracked, dust spilling from his many wounds like sand from an executioner's hourglass. Perhaps he is dying. He thinks he might be, but the thought does not trouble him overmuch. He has lived in age and suffered too long to fear extinction. Worse, he is no longer sure he can die. He looks at the weapon before him, the crescent-bladed axe without a handle. Okay, we have seen Renekton's weapon. That is another thing I've seen. I don't know what those weapons are actually called. It belonged to a warrior king of Acacia, but a fleeting memory of breaking its haft as he had broken its bearer's army returns to him. Oh, so he stole it from a king of Acacia. He remembers remaking it, but not why. Perhaps he will use it to slice open his rigid throat and see what happens. Will blood or dust flow? Whoa, that's a crazy question. No, he will not die here. Not yet. The Whisperer tells him fate has another role for him. He has blood yet to spill, a thirst for vengeance yet to slake. The jackal face of the one who condemned him to darkness floats in his mind, and each time he sees it, the hatred carved on his heart boils to the surface. He looks up at the cave walls as the shadows apart, revealing the crude daubings of mortals. Ancient flaking images so faded as to be almost invisible depict the desert city in all its glory. Rivers of cold, clear water flow in its pillared thoroughfares, and the life-giving rays of the sun bring forth wondrous greenery from a newly fertile landscape. He sees a king in a hawk-headed helm, Azir, atop a towering palace and a dark-robed figure at his side. Beneath them are two giants in armor wrought for war, one a hulking crocodilian beast armed with a crescent-bladed axe, the other a jackal-headed warrior scholar. In the reptilian form, he recognizes the mortal's odd representation of his ascended incarnation. He turns his gaze upon the remaining warrior. Time has all but erased the angular script beneath the faded image, but enough is still legible for him to make out his betrayer's name. Nasus, he says, brother. Okay, so he does remember, and he remembers from looking at like scribblings on a wall and stuff. Okay, and with the source of his torment named, his own identity is revealed like the sun emerging from behind a storm cloud. I am Renekton, he hisses through hooked teeth, the Butcher of the Sands. Okay, he remembers his name as well. He lifts his crescent blade and rises to his full height as the dust of ages falls away from his armored form. Old wounds seal, broken skin knits afresh, and color returns to his supple jade crocodilian skin as purpose fills him. Once the sun remade him, but now darkness is his ally. Oh, that's scary. Strength surges through his monstrously powerful body, muscles swelling and eyes burning red with hatred for Nasus. He hears the Whisperer speak once again, but he no longer heeds its voice. He clenches a clawed fist and touches the tip of his blade to the image of the jackal-headed warrior. You left me alone in the darkness, brother, he says. You will die for that betrayal. Very cool story. I like that we're getting kind of just like a narration of what's going on in his head because he's clearly lost his mind. All right, this is cool. I like this because we truly see how his mind is working. It's not working very well. He has to like see things to remember them, and even if he like sees them and remembers them for a moment, it could fade. It says like earlier, like it could fade like a mirage, right? So he might remember that he's going after his brother. I mean, that purpose for him probably won't go away, but he might forget his name at times. He might forget like other things about Shurima. So clearly, hopefully, anyway, if we continue lore with Renekton, if Riot does, maybe there will eventually be a battle between Nasus and Renekton, or like a redemption story will happen for Renekton. I'd like to see that. All right, we're going to take a look at Renekton's gameplay abilities now. So role as fighter difficulty is low, and then we're going to take a look at the Wild Rift trailer. The gameplay spotlight is 13 years old, so of course we're not going to look at that. All right, so we have his passive, which is Reign of Anger. Renekton's attacks generate fury, increased when he is low on life. This fury can empower his abilities with bonus effects. Okay, so that's kind of like what I was saying. I thought he would have like some sort of rage ability, and this kind of is like that in a sense. But also, so the fury just empowers his abilities in general with bonus effects. Okay, so we have Q, which is Cole the Meek. Oh, that looks like a good ability. Renekton swings his blade, dealing moderate physical damage to all targets around him, and heals for a small portion of the damage dealt. If he has more than 50 fury, his damage and heal are increased. Okay, very cool. Pretty much just damage and heal. Cool. Ruthless Predator is his W. Renekton slashes his target twice, dealing moderate physical damage and stuns them for 0.75 seconds. If Renekton has more than 50 fury, he slashes his target 3 times, destroying damage shields on the target, dealing high physical damage and stunning them for 1.5 seconds, so double the amount of stun time. Okay, so this one is a specifically targeted ability, while the Q was a little bit more of like a swing around him. I can tell he probably is very good. Like he seems like he's got like some wombo combos with him. Okay, so his E is Slice and Dice. Renekton dashes, dealing damage to units along the way. Empowered Renekton deals bonus damage and reduces the armor of units hit. Wow, man. Renekton seems just, I mean, the difficulty is low, but he seems pretty powerful just from like these abilities. And then his ultimate is Dominus. Renekton transforms into the Tyrant form, gaining bonus health and dealing damage to enemies around him. While in this form, Renekton gains fury periodically. Wow, so this is actually like his rage mode. So he gets like a little AoE effect around him, so he can just like walk into people and do damage. But basically he just starts gaining fury and can do his abilities. Like he starts gaining fury periodically, and he can just start freaking gaining health and doing damage all across the board. Very cool. Yeah, I mean, I can see why he's low difficulty, but I can also see why he'd be a very good fighter class to have in your 5v5. Okay, I did want to take a look at the gameplay overview for Wild Rift for him, just to get an idea of like how he actually is in game. Get some video of it.
Destruction approaches.
Okay, destruction approaches. I mean, he seems pretty basic, but like, I mean, basic is sometimes good.
Next on the chopping block.
Okay, so passive, Reign of Anger, just gain some fury. Damage nearby enemies, heal self. There's Cole the Meek. Oh, it's okay. It's showing the difference with the having fury. Okay. So you can build your fury to be 100, it looks like. Like, is it 50 and 100? I see the bar below his health. Okay. That was a stun. Cool. Hit enemy to gain a second dash. Okay, I didn't know that. Second dash shreds armor. Okay, let's see it. Oh, it looks different in Wild Rift. The AoE effect around him, unless they just like updated it. Cool. Make them fear your fury. All right, let's see a little bit of the combos here. Yeah, like the slice and dice clearly is probably a really good ability. Cool. I mean, he seems basic, but like, I think that's fine. Like, he's probably real good. All right, we're getting like a little fire crocodile skin there for him. Cool. All right, next up we have Renekton's reveal in Legends of Runeterra. Let's give this a watch. About a minute and a half. Renekton raids the desert. Oh, level up the Ascended Buried Sun Disc. Start of game, draw one of me if all your cards are Shuriman. Okay, we got a little synergy going on here. All right, Renekton is a 4-mana 4/4. That's good. With Overwhelm, when I challenge an enemy, give me +2/+1 this round. Wow, and then level up when I've dealt 12+ damage. He is just a straight up damage dealer, right? Okay. I kind of almost don't even want to hear his voice lines because I want to save them for later. Okay, there's him getting +2/+1 for challenging. He'd be a good 4-mana just card to have in your deck for sure.
Soft, weak coward.
How good are Shuriman cards in Runeterra? You guys will have to let me know. Has anybody been playing lately? Have they changed anything? Oh, that freaking... Oh, that level up animation was great. Hold on, we gotta back it up. 4-mana 5/5. He also still has Overwhelm. Give me +3/+3 this round when he attacks now. And then level up when you've restored the Sun Disc. Oh, he has another level up. Okay. So when he attacks, now he's on the offensive instead of challenging. He's just a heavy damage dealer, man. Okay, we have to... Okay, Renekton's scary, dude. What? He's a 10/10? Excuse me. Ascended. Renekton Overwhelm. When I block or attack, deal 2 damage to... deal 2 to enemies and the enemy nexus. Wow. When I attack or block. I mean, getting him to level up twice, though, is probably pretty hard. Wow. Okay, he just took out the whole board. Well, Renekton is nobody to be... Oh, I see he was choking his brother here. Look at this. Now, that's a battle we need a cinematic for. I'm telling you, we need, like, lore and, like, cinematics for Shurima and, like, Azir and... Nasus and Renekton, you know what I mean? They've been in the game. All right, we're going to watch the expansion trailer now for Legends of Runeterra, specifically Empires of the Ascended, because it does feature Renekton and Nasus, and I believe Azir as well. So let's go ahead and watch this. It's about 3.5 minutes long. It's a long one. I don't think I've seen this. I don't think I knew it had Azir in it when we did our Azir reaction. Okay, so who is this? I don't think I've ever seen this cinematic, because I don't recall it. Okay, who is that? I have lots of questions already. Like, why is he chasing him? What's the beef, bro? Imagine getting hit by that whip. Okay, he's got a plan. What's the plan? Oh yeah, you're gonna set up a, yeah, like a trip wire is what I was gonna say, but that works. Oh, is that Renekton or is this? What is that? Oh, that looks like it is. Oh, that's his weapon. Come on, show us. Oh, there he is. Okay. Now, what time is this for Renekton? Is this before he's entombed? And, like, goes crazy? He doesn't look crazy. Oh, what was that he was trying to go after? Reminds me of Azir. Okay, he fell through the hole. There it is. What is that? I probably know. I'm just forgetting. The heck are those? They look like Reapers or something. This is a ghost library. Wait, is this Nasus's library? Okay, yeah, it's Nasus, right? Coming through like a little teleporter. I'm gonna assume it's his library. Why does everybody want that? Oh, wait. This must be after Renekton is gone mad. Because he's attacking Nass. Okay, this is the fight I wanted. I mean, I don't know how Nasus wins it, though, because Renekton's just a straight brawler, man. That was dangerous to walk between them, bro. You can go around. Oh, the body slam. Oh, they fell right through. Okay. He's going to take the teleporter out. Yeah, so this must be after Renekton's gone mad, because he wouldn't attack his brother. Like, if this was before. Okay, there's a Azir. So this... Yeah, this is after Azir is out and also like resurrected, and then Renekton's crazy. Nasus is still around in the library. Wait, who is that? Am I supposed to know who that lady is? Am I supposed to know who this man is? Is that what they needed to like to bring back the Sun Disk? Okay, I mean, cool. Oh, look at that army, dude. That was a great cinematic. I'm glad we got that. I'm glad we watched that, too, because I wasn't sure. I had to skim through it to make sure Renekton was in it a little bit. Yeah, that's a fun little cinematic. If you guys have a little bit more insight into, like, some of the questions I had, let me know. Like, I'm not quite sure what this artifact is. I might be just forgetting what it is exactly. And, you know, let me confirm that this is when Renekton's a little crazy. You know, obviously he's attacking Nasus, and yeah, what's going on here at the end, who the lady is and all that stuff. So, all right, we're going to take a look at Renekton's skins. Now, I mean, obviously we saw the fire crocodile. I have no idea what they're going to end up doing. Hopefully they do something kind of clever or creative with him being a crocodile. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to expect. The original skin is just fine, but we'll keep going. Next is Galactic. Now, these are going to be some of the old skins. So this is from like 2011. So this is just going to be kind of like probably like color changes and stuff like that. But it just says Galactic Renekton. I can't really tell. He's got like a metal armor plate on his leg here, and the weapon looks kind of cool. But let's keep going. Outback Renekton. We got Crocodile Dundee Renekton. I'm you know what? That's the creative thing that I was thinking that they would do, and they did it. The little description says, "Crikey, what a ripper." All right, next up is Blood Fury. Okay, so the weapon looks cool. And then he's wearing armor, and then he looks a little bit more like a dragon, I would say, than he does a crocodile, based on the image anyways. Let's look at the 3D model, though. I mean, yeah, he kind of got just like a color change, and they put like different armor on him. The weapon's pretty scary. But again, he kind of does look just a little bit more like a dragon almost, right? Next up is Rune Wars. A little bit of just like a skin color change, and then some armor. The weapon looks a little bit different. I feel like some of these older ones are kind of just like, they didn't really dive into the change of his skins yet until we get later. So let's just keep going. All right, we have Scorched Earth. We're not really seeing anything here from the image. So I guess I'll take a look at the 3D model. It looks like this might be the one that I saw, like the Fire Crocodile version of him. Not really, but he does have like the Scorched kind of like style to him. It's reminding me of like the World of Warcraft Scorched characters a little bit. The weapon's cool. I do like the changes to the weapon that they keep doing, but the armor's kind of meh. Oh boy, they did it. I said in my last reaction for, was it Veigar or Fiora or somebody? I was like, everybody needs to have a pool party skin. I will be honest, I did not expect one for Renekton, but this is fantastic. I love it. Pool party, we'll put this in the top 3 for now. Let me look at the 3D model. I mean, yeah, come on. I mean, this is great. Honestly, let's be honest. This is such a good... I mean, the weapon... Yeah, I mean, that's got to be his weapon, right? What else are you going to do for his weapon? That's perfect. I love it. And the whistle, too. All right, we have prehistoric. So we're going like dinosaur, crocodile. I mean, crocodiles are from way back when anyways. So, okay, cool. We're seeing a little image here. I got to look at the 3D, though, again. These images aren't really helping me. Oh, yeah, he looks like he could be in Turok or something like that. I like his, what do we call this? His back fin, I guess you can call it. Very prehistoric, very like dinosaur stuff, Jurassic World, Jurassic Park kind of stuff. So I actually like this skin, and I like the weapon as well. Let's keep going, though. I'm a little hesitant to put that in the top 3 so far. Okay, we have SKTT1. Honoring Marin's winning performance as Renekton. We got to look at the 3D model. We're having to look at the 3D model on a lot of these. Okay, I mean, you know, not for me. Next up, we have Renektoy. Oh, this might be cool. Renekton Chromas. Who else has a toy skin? Oh, I don't know who this character is, but I've seen them before. And then I don't know who's carrying him. But I have seen that character. Okay, anyways, Renekton. This is actually unique. I'm surprised we haven't had other champions get like the toy look to them. You know, I think making them into like toys like this is kind of fun. I like Renekton. It's a little weird though at the same time. There's like something a little weird about it, but I do like it. I don't know what color scheme is my favorite. I like the creativeness of this skin, so that's why I want to stick it in the top 3. Next we have Hextech. Hextech. Oh, he's got all these little the Hextech stuff to push into his veins and stuff. Okay, this is cool. He looks scary. I got to look at the 3D model. Okay, yeah, we got the color scheme for Hextech. Other than that, though, it's pretty basic to me, to be honest. It's good, but it's not my favorite. Okay, now we have Black Frost Renekton. Oh, interesting. What did they do to Renekton? He looks not like Renekton. See, like now for sure his head, like the shape of his head, definitely looks more like a dragon to me than a crocodile. Even more so than the the Scorched skin or whatever we saw earlier. I think this looks way more like a dragon than it does a crocodile. The weapon looks a little weird to me too. I don't like this one that much. Sorry for those that have it, because it looks like it has a bunch of different skin colors. Oh, Project Renekton is also a skin I honestly did not expect to get for him. Yeah, I mean, I do love my Project skins, so this is giving off a little bit like Transformer vibes though, like Beast Wars Transformers or something. Honestly, just because I know it's not a Transformer, but like the way the armor is and everything. Okay, I think this is cool. I like the Project Renekton skin. I've seen better Project skins, so this one might not stay in the top 3, but let's keep going. Dawnbringer. Ooh. Okay, now we're talking a little bit. The weapon is fantastic. I love how shiny the weapon is. And how shiny he is, kind of. Again, doesn't look like a crocodile whatsoever anymore. Kind of looks like Renekton. Wouldn't say it necessarily does. There's something about the armor that I don't know I like that much. Okay, let's look at the last skin and we'll make our decision. Oh, Worlds 2023. Cool. We got a World skin here. I like it. There's something actually odd about the newer, like, kind of style for League of Legends skins with Renekton. I don't know if it's like my favorite style for him. All right, guys, I'm going to try to pick my top 3 here. And I think it's actually going to be the more creative, weird ones and not these like typical newer League of Legends skins. So I'm actually going with Pool Party. I think it's hilarious. Renekton, because I think it's just totally clever, creative, and different. And then I actually am going to go with the Project skin. I like all 3 of those skins over like some of these other ones that have a lot of like different skin color choices. I don't know what it is about these, but they're just not really all that good looking to me. Like they do look good and I would absolutely use them, but I would prefer to have the other 3. I want to hear from you guys though. Let me know what your favorite skin is in the comments. All right, let's take a look at the trivia. It says Renekton is voiced by Patrick Seitz. I don't know if that's somebody famous. It says Kog'Maw and pre-voice update Lucian are also voiced by the same voice actor. Okay, cool. Renekton's title used to be the Eater of Souls, and it was changed to the current one after his sneak peek. In Legends of Runeterra, he clarifies himself as a crocodile and not an alligator. Okay, so was this something that just came out recently, like 3 years ago or whenever Legends of Runeterra came out, that like he's confirmed a crocodile instead of an alligator? Did everybody think he was just an alligator this whole time and didn't know? When he closes his jaw, you can see his upper and lower teeth. Alligators would only show top teeth due to a strong overbite. Crocodiles are much more aggressive than alligators, and Renekton has a literal rage meter. Okay, well, fury meter, but whatever. Okay, so that's kind of like more lore about why he's a crocodile instead of an alligator. Cole the Meek used to be called Tyrant's Reach, and it was changed for unknown reasons when his champion Spotlight was released. Renekton's art Spotlight is the only one not to show his classic skin, and it shows Outback instead. Renekton and Nasus is one of 7 pairs of sibling champions. Okay, we don't need to go through all of those. Slice and Dice reference the eponymous expression, right? The motion Renekton performs when using the abilities references the death roll. And then Slice's original icon resembles Ace in the Holes. Okay, so a lot of like reworks and like, or not reworks, but like changes to his abilities. It looks like a lot of like name changes and things like that happened to Renekton over the years. All right, we're taking a look at the Fandom Wiki. We skipped some of the early live stuff and stuff that we read already. But I found some new stuff here with the post-ascension. So with his new powers, Renekton continued to lead the Shuriman army to victory for centuries, becoming an unstoppable force, topping the power of his old self, following Shurima's footsteps in every victorious battle. Though as the centuries went on, many believe his mortality was lost when he stepped into the light. When Nash Ramay was captured and put under the law of Shurima, I feel like I've seen that name. The Crocodile Beast went rampage and destroyed the Grand Library, completely annihilated it during the siege of the place. Nasus, hearing this, arrived at the scene to confront Renekton, causing his bloodlust dissipated under his brother's stern gaze, and he turned away in shame. Wait, that's not the scene that we actually saw, was it? In the Legends of Runeterra cinematic? Because I was assuming that was actually when Renekton had already gone mad, but maybe this was the scene we saw. Okay, greatest sacrifice. During the Battle of Acacia, Renekton fought alongside Aatrox, Nasus, and several other ascended beings. However, things took a turn for the worse when the Void was unleashed during the battle, inflicting the dangerous Voidborn upon them. Around the same time, Azir's ascension was sabotaged by Xerath, who killed him and stole his power. When the brothers learned of this, they hurried back to the capital. However, upon their return a few days later, Xerath had absorbed so much energy that he had become nothing but solid energy himself, making him the most dangerous Bakai ever unleashed. All right, then we have returning to the surface. This is after he's getting entombed and everything. In the year 989 AN, Sivir, a treasure hunter hired by Cassiopeia, ventured into the tomb in search of riches. However, Cassiopeia betrayed Sivir and inadvertently released both Renekton and Xerath from their imprisonment. Okay, and upon his release, Renekton, driven by the scent of his brother, immediately set out to find Nasus. However, he soon discovered that the world he knew eons ago had changed drastically, as he now wandered a desert landscape vastly different from the one he remembered. He wandered across the familiar scorching desert of Shurima he once known and continued to search with a single-minded focus. And then we have With Teeth. Maybe this is like another story we didn't read. As Renekton searched the desert for his brother, he stumbled upon a group of sand trawlers led by Sai Surthas. Upon discovering the group's latest victim, Uxem Heartsplitter, Renekton demanded to know the whereabouts of his brother. Instead of answering his question, Sai Surthas challenged Renekton to a duel. Oh, that's a bad idea. Even when being haunted by memories of Xerath's power, Renekton emerged victorious from the battle, though he was sliced into pieces before reforging himself and throwing the sand trawler's body into the jaws of a nearby predator. Whoa. Turning his attention to the remaining members of the group, Renekton confronted Raz Bloodmaid, who suggested that Nasus might be found near the cliffs of Azuma. Okay. Choosing to spare Raz's life, Renekton left the group behind and continued to search for Nasus. Okay, so an interesting duel here happens that we didn't know about. Raz Bloodmane, is this a card in Legends of Runeterra? Maybe? No. All right, we're on to his appearance. Renekton is a hulking monstrosity, being bipedal like a human, but with the head of a crocodile. His body is covered in scales, green in the back and pale tan in the front. His beady yellow-orange eyes seem to glow with pure rage. Each limb has only 4 digits, all with sharp black claws. He has a long crocodilian tail. He generally wears only a few pieces of armor, silver and intricately crafted on his head, shoulders, neck, forearms, and shins. Aside from this, he only wears a faded greenish-brown loincloth. His weapon of choice is a massive crescent-shaped axe. Personality. Even when Renekton was still a noble warrior, he always had a violent side, liking to get into fights as a result of his hot-headed and unpredictable nature. When Renekton became an Ascended, he sometimes embraced his animalistic side while in battle, destroying entire cities in ways that shocked even those who saw him as a hero. While he was renowned for his cruelty and ruthlessness in battle, Renekton was still good at heart and cared deeply for his brother Nasus, even willing to sacrifice himself to save him, but these traits left Renekton vulnerable to Xerath's influence in the millennia they were locked away, and ultimately became Renekton's defining traits and his insanity. While Nasus believes his brother is truly gone, some remain hopeful that the old Ascended hero could one day reclaim his old humanity to defeat his new tyrannical master. Yeah, I mean, I guess that would be my hope for Renekton, is that, like, he gets his mind back in real, like, I want to see, like, a cool cinematic, like, a real cool cinematic where, like, he finally catches up to Nasus and then somehow Nasus, like, brings his mind back or something, right? I think it'd be really, really cool. Abilities. God Warrior. Renekton is an Ascended, blessed by the power of the sun directed into the sun disk. He has immortality. They do not need to eat, sleep, or anything a normal mortal would need to survive. Godlike strength. Even before ascending, Renekton was a powerful warrior. Yep. Blood magic. Renekton is able to use blood magic to heal himself from almost any wound, as seen in his duel against Sai Surtha and him holding Xerath at bay for so long. Okay, so he has like Wolverine abilities. He also is able to increase his size tenfold by using blood magic, seen in his ultimate. I was going to say in his ultimate, he did seem like he got bigger, but I didn't want to sound stupid earlier. But yeah, so he does actually is able to get like bigger and stuff. Okay. Combat abilities. Renekton was a ruthless warrior, slicing and dicing with his crescent axe. He also was the one who taught Azir in combat. All right, we got a little section of relations here. Nasus. Nasus is the older brother of Renekton and became ascended at the same time as him. While Nasus planned the battles, Renekton was the one to win the battles. When Xerath forced his ascension, both Renekton and Nasus went to stop him and were the only two god warriors there. After a fierce battle, Renekton ordered Nasus to close the tomb of the emperors. Azir. Renekton respects Azir and willingly serves him. Azir hopes that it would help him remember what he had forgotten. Renekton also trained Azir in the ways of combat. Renekton spent eons battling him within the Tomb of the Emperors. During this time, he manipulated his slowly breaking mind to make him hate Nasus. Saikal, Xerath's birthplace, was conquered by Renekton. Xerath was likely taken as a child slave at that time. Okay. And then Sivir's interference allowed Renekton to escape the Tomb of Emperors. That's really the only relationship there is there. And then it says Darken. So we got all the Darken here. I'm not going to name them all. It says they were all part of the host of god warriors and all served Shurima together with Renekton. Right. Okay. Fair enough. Okay. So scrolling through here, we got a lot of things that we possibly have missed. We've seen the video for Descent. We saw this. There's a comic called Fall of the Empire, and then there's, yeah, the other short story that I have not read, which is called With Teeth. All right, the trivia section here, it's a little small, but it says Renekton is the younger brother of Nasus, being born over 3,796 years ago. Nasus fought alongside Setaka for 3 centuries before she died in the Battle of Acacia, which happened around 2500 BN. They both ascended around the same time and are some of the later ascended. Rennek was one of the nations that belonged to the ancient Shurima Empire and was possibly located somewhere near the Rennek River. The siblings may have originated from there, and Renekton may have been named after it. I was going to say Rennek sounds obviously very similar to his name. As it took several days for Nasus and Renekton to run from Acacia to the Sun Disk, it is to be assumed that the normal ascension ritual takes a while, and Xerath kept it going far longer than was normal, hence his body now being of arcana magic. Renekton is having a big struggle of trying to regain his sanity, but constantly slipping back and forth between lucidity and utter madness. His humanity is still in there, just somewhere deep down, and maybe he could come back, but only with the right motivation. Yeah, I mean, obviously people put that in there, but that's what I'm saying. I would like to see like the lore push forward with Renekton a little bit, where possibly we get some sort of dilemma of like he needs to have his mind come back, or he like kills a bunch of like innocent people. I don't know. Something like his mind actually coming back for a little bit would be pretty awesome. All right, let's start off with Renekton's Legends of Runeterra voice lines here, or special interactions. We have quite a few, and then we'll have to skip through and find some of the rest. But here we go. Let's listen to them. We're first starting off with Renekton and Azir.
You dare challenge your god, Emperor? I've killed so many, but never a god.
I wonder who would win that fight. I mean, Azir is very strong too, but...
Shurima, your Emperor has returned.
I mean, Renekton's crazy.
Allow me to clear a path for you.
Okay.
There is no place for savagery in the new Shurima.
Ooh.
Conquest is always bloody.
Okay. Not really responding to him.
We have a common enemy.
At least we are together again.
Oh, I love that line.
You're next, Nasus.
It is good to see you too.
Okay.
I'll never forgive you for what you did to me.
I did as you asked. I thought of the only way.
Yeah, see, that's the crazy part is Renekton told him to. So, like, Renekton, man, it's on you.
Finally, Nasus, I've hunted you down.
I came to reconcile with you.
That's what I want,
You'll
man.
get what all my enemies do, a quick death.
You are my brother, Renekton, not my enemy.
Dude, I'm loving Nasus voice lines actually quite a bit more so far.
You'll suffer as I have, Nasus.
But I mean, Renekton's crazy, so.
I suffer to see you like this.
Yeah, I was gonna say he does.
So, this is the Butcher of the Sands.
Follow me and I'll show you how I earned that name.
I do love that voice line. That was good.
Little warrior.
Come on, I'll give you a closer look.
Okay, okay.
I was not shown mercy. I will not grant it.
Rampaging
I'll
of the Kai.
gift you the mercy of death.
Death. I knew it.
Tear them apart.
Oh, that's
Piece by
Raz Bloodmane. Is this? No, that's not the guy in the cinematic. This looks like he has a 2-headed, like, crocodile or alligator or something. Tear them apart piece by bloody piece.
Split them into 3s, boss.
Boss.
We fight.
Okay.
They bleed.
Raz is like helping
there are
him.
many
Okay.
souls that curse your name, Butcher.
Ooh.
Plenty more where they came from.
Okay, Renekton's lines are
Show
getting
them
better.
your teeth.
We'll tear right through them.
Yeah, so Renekton has some allies now.
They bleed.
They'll beg for mercy.
Good. We like when they beg.
I wonder if the voice actor is just doing this straight from his throat, or if they're like actually
They bleed.
modifying it, because it's crazy if it was just regular like that.
Narcissus,
Oh, brother.
I wanted this.
Hmm.
Die like a dog.
Whoa.
Revenge at last.
Okay.
A traitor's death.
You're wrong though,
They
Renekton.
should be afraid.
That's at their
What are
idol.
you waiting for? I get violent when I'm bored.
That's probably
The
true.
slaughter will never end. Savagery and carnage forever.
Savagery
Crack
and
them
carnage forever. I mean, that's Renekton in a nutshell, I guess.
Then we feast.
Okay.
One day they will suffer.
This reminds me of a little bit of like Scion's voice lines in a way.
I'll
Just a little bit.
remember their face.
Do not see what is.
Okay,
See
what
what
else we
will
got?
be.
Piles of bones, rivers of blood.
Okay.
Look how far we have come.
Not far enough. I want more.
Oh, you want more, Renekton? Ah,
It never should have come to this, Renekton.
true.
Yet it has. Come face me.
Also true. Yet it has.
We enter an age of men and gods.
You are too late, brother.
Oh, I like the way he said brother. That was cool.
I walk through the ages.
This is your last.
Oh, what a response there.
Little human, you face a god.
Oh, that's such a good line too.
Not the first time, won't be the last.
Even death dies.
Even death dies. That's not true, actually, Renekton.
Damn you, Narcissus. I'm a vengeful god.
I'm a vengeful guy.
No more words. They fear us, yes.
They fear us? Yeah. Oh, he's just talking about the enemy being idle again.
I have blood to spill.
Right, this is the upgraded
Bloody tribute
Renekton.
in my name. Kneel before the gods.
Okay.
All
Lots of
Serena
god talk.
will
He
worship
definitely has an
me.
ego. That's for sure.
I'll have my vengeance.
But I mean, he really has no reason not to have an
Eons
ego,
of
I guess.
Suffering await them.
You know, he never like actually lost any like battle, really. I guess you could say when he was entombed, he didn't win that battle, but he also has never really lost a battle. So he kind of has a reason to have an ego. All right, let's go ahead and find some more of the voice lines. They're going to be scattered throughout here.
Please remember, see reason.
Reason died in the dark.
Oh, wow.
I've long awaited our reunion, Renekton.
How fitting it's on the battlefield.
Ah, man, it's just like you want him to get his mind back, but
Have you nothing to say to me?
Take your place, General.
come on, it's your brother,
I
dude.
mourn the loss of Shurima's greatest hero.
He was betrayed by his brother.
No, Renekton.
Rage burns away all that is good in you.
It's
Renekton.
hurting me, man.
Betrayal did that long ago.
It's like you want to reason with him, but he's clearly too far gone.
You are a pale shadow of your
Unfortunate.
former self, Renekton.
Ooh.
Things grow pale, locked away in the dark.
Ah, what a response. Actually, that is like one of his more clever lines, and I kind of like it.
We are gods. All should fear us.
Leveled up Nasus. Let's see if we get any
Yourself.
other voice
We have
lines
a
from
duty
Renekton.
to fulfill.
As I live, all will die.
Let the light burn away your corruption, Renekton.
Okay.
One final battle, Nasus.
He just wants to
Know
kill
that I am
Nasus,
this
man.
with
One
a
final
heavy
battle.
heart.
You cannot hide forever, Nasus.
He probably could,
You
actually.
must come into the light to find me. Patience, brother. We have eons.
We have eons.
Eons of slaughter.
Oh, God. I mean, Here's my thought though, is like if they actually fight, they're immortal, right? In the sense, like, could they even kill each other? I mean, do they have the magical ability to do so? I wonder.
Mortal ties.
They're gods, right? So
See you beyond.
all right,
I'll
devoted
rend a
council.
bloody path through Shurima.
The war for Sharima is over. We have all won.
Oh, those look like the people from, or at least he does. He looks like the guy that was in the cinematic. I'm not sure if they're the same people though.
I'll rend a bloody path through Shurima. The slaughter will never end.
Eons of
He's
slaughter.
with us, right?
He's with us, right? No.
It's the big guy himself.
All right,
Say
wait.
hi, boys.
Raz.
I hope they're hungry.
I love his laugh.
Renekton's here. It's gonna get good.
Ready yourself for the slaughter.
Slaughter. That's his favorite word. Slaughter.
We ancients will stop you.
The ancients.
A failed god dares challenge me.
A failed god.
My Soren grows hungry.
Eat them
Soren.
alive and spit out their bones.
Oh, ew. Okay.
We are
They grow you ugly down in the dark.
They grow you
Such a
ugly.
mortal concept.
Who is the Sanctum Conservator? Interesting character.
How good to serve the Emperor once more.
Okay, this
Let it
is
help
ally
you
arriving
remember who
for
you once were.
Azir.
It's going to be a good day.
So is Renekton serving Azir after he's come out and still wants revenge, like against Nasus? Is he working for, like, is he back under Shurima? I don't know.
We'll see Shurima set.
I will drown Shurima in blood.
Yeah, so slaughter, blood, savagery, all this stuff. Very much so.
Not while I
Renekton.
am
Again, it
still
reminds me of
its
Sion's
emperor.
voice lines.
The boy who plays at being Emperor.
The boy who
The
plays
once
at it.
beloved soldier, no longer fit to serve. At last, you will serve by my side.
Okay.
Chaos serves no one.
Chaos serves no one.
God Emperor
That's the first time he's used the word chaos. Okay, now we have
Aren't you
Sivir.
Nasus's brother, Ruin Toad, Rat Tongue?
Whoa. Dude, that would make me mad too. I get it, Renekton.
Let's go. I want to see some alligator tears.
Whoa.
Crocodile. Ugh, savages.
Oh, is that our confirmation that he's a crocodile? I want to know how long the debate was going on in the League community if he was a crocodile or an alligator. Because it seems like the devs didn't confirm it for a very long time. Okay, we have a few voice lines for Renekton in League of Legends. We're going to watch these first, and then we'll just talk about all of his voice lines overall.
Renekton was lost long ago. You are but his pale
Okay,
shadow.
we've heard that one.
You should have done a better job locking me away, Nasus.
Ooh.
Your
Better
legacy
job.
shall drift away, blown into eternity like the sands of the desert.
You are not my brother, traitor.
You're not my brother.
Rage burned away all that
Wow.
was good in you, my brother.
Wow. Okay.
Trapped in a box so long, Zereth. They never should have let us out.
They never should have let us out.
Show them your hatred.
Yeah, okay. So, I mean, I keep saying, like, Renekton needs to get his mind back. Renekton really needs to get his mind back. We need to just take out Xerath. If Xerath is taken out, right, then Renekton goes back to normal, maybe? I don't know.
Zereth, we will give them what they deserve.
Yeah, so that's why I'm like, he can't be serving under Azir. He's working for Xerath, kind of.
Crocodile. Make them suffer.
Okay, there's another person calling him Crocodile.
Renekton, your carnage ends now.
Oh, Cassante.
God warrior Renekton, butchered by a man.
This is if you kill Renekton, okay.
You are sloppy.
I feel like he would be sloppy in combat.
Sundered. Stone sealed your tomb once. It will again.
I like seeing people
Your
react to him
resurrection
too.
has
This is
twisted your
kind of like,
mind.
it's not his voice lines, but I like seeing people react to
That
him.
whole practice of ascension is adorably amusing. Like a kitten trying to walk upright.
Oh, Aurelian Soul.
Allow me to facilitate your rapaciousness.
Your rapaciousness.
I appreciate your mind is unsullied by the complications of
The
reason.
complications of reason. That's a funny voice
Renekton,
line.
once a noble warrior, now naught but a mad beast.
Yeah.
You have forgotten yourself, Renekton.
This is if you kill him. Okay.
Renekton, in your madness, you know my suffering, though I shall end yours.
Oh, I love that voice line. Oh my god. And it's not even a Renekton voice line, but he's saying, in your madness, now you understand what I go through. And now he's going to end his madness. Cool. Cool voice line.
Rage carry you into my chains.
I like seeing these other like villainous type characters react to Renekton. Very interesting.
You'll make a nice bag.
Whoa,
could use
whoa,
a-
whoa. We can't be doing that now, Sever.
Pair of crocskin boots.
Whoa. What the? That's like the ultimate insult, turning him into a bag. All right, these were a little fun. We didn't have too many voice lines with the League of Legends stuff. And obviously, you know, with an older champion, unless they do a rework, they're not going to add in voice lines or anything like that. All right, so let's talk about his voice lines overall. Again, he honestly, him coming at Nasus the entire like Legends of Runeterra voice lines, it just really wants me to have him like come back and like be normal again and like have his love for his brother and realize that like you told Nasus to close the tomb or you wanted him to close the tomb. And I want him to finally realize, and I don't know what will do it, but we need him to like realize Xerath is the one in his head messing with him and to actually go after Xerath. I don't know what would like trigger him to do that. Maybe Nasus and Azir need to remind him about Xerath, and maybe he'll like realize, oh, wait a minute, I was trapped and entombed with Xerath, and like he was the one that made me this way. I don't know. Who knows what's going to happen? I mean, and a lot of his voice lines, again, were just like typical, probably what Renekton would say even before he went mad. Like the whole like slaughter, the blood, drown in a river of blood, Shrima, blah, blah, blah. Like he probably was already kind of like that, but now his anger and rage and fury is a little bit more obviously towards Nasus and again, like I was saying, his voice lines remind me a little bit of Sion's because they both talked about like Sion, I remember was like talking about like crushing bones or something like that. And Renekton also mentioned like, I don't know, something about bones and like spitting out their bones and stuff like that. So I was actually hoping we got a little bit more clever, creative voice lines from him, but he is mad now, right? But like, I don't know, something like crocodile related that could have been funny. I don't know what kind of funny voice lines they could have done for a crocodile, but usually Riot does that kind of stuff where they throw in like one or two voice lines to be funny and it's related to like the champion specifically. And you know, him being a crocodile, or maybe like well, I guess there was the voice line about Sivir calling him an alligator, so that's kind of funny. But I don't know. I think there could have been a little bit more funny voice lines in there for him. But they probably wanted to stick close to his whole madness thing and keep that going. Cassante being a reaction to Renekton here is a little interesting. I don't know if there's more to that. Yeah, let me know in the comments if there's anything going on between these two that maybe I need to know about. I'm not quite sure. All right, so in the future for lore-wise for Renekton, I mean, I've mentioned it throughout the reaction, but I would love to see them explore Renekton's mind a little bit more and maybe like do something with it to either make it shatter a little bit and come back to normal instead of having the whole like madness thing going on with him, or make him go even, I don't know, make him go even crazier, or make him go after Xerath, make him like finally meet up with Nasus and like we get to see a cool cinematic between them. I don't know, right? Like I really want this to actually come to fruition and have Renekton back, because I think it'd be really awesome to like actually have a champion have lore get updated and like he comes out of his madness in a cool way. Like if Riot writes a really cool story or something like that makes him come out of his madness, and then like Nasus, Renekton and Azir bring Shrima back and they go after Xerath together. Like I think that'd be a cool storyline if they all three went after him or something. That'd be awesome. Maybe let's save that for the MMO. I keep saying that, but that might actually just be a cool storyline for the MMO. Not sure. Let me know in the comments though, guys, what you think about Renekton. Let me know what you think they should do with Renekton, if they should just keep his lore there, and what you think about the whole Renekton versus Nasus, like who would win that fight, that kind of stuff. Also, let me know if I should do a Nasus reaction next. I mean, we got a lot of Nasus in this reaction itself, so I feel like we'd kind of might want to do it a little bit later because it'd be kind of just like a repeat reaction almost a little bit. Obviously, Nasus is the smarter one. he hasn't lost his mind or anything like that. And he's probably a little bit more interesting in terms of like maybe some of his voice lines and stuff. But maybe we'll hold off on Nasus a little bit later. But let me know if I should do one in the future. All right, guys, that's going to do it for the reaction. I appreciate you stopping by. Please leave a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.